Hey friends, I'm just here to give you an update on my setup for my Walkera Runner 250 with the Teleporter V3 goggle setup. And I'm just going to give you an update on where I put the video transmitter and just some other aspects of what I did with the GoPro mount and having a GoPro on. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Here we can see I've still got the Fat Shark video transmitter up on top here. But we can see I've actually changed where I positioned the video transmitter now. I used to have the video transmitter back in this area over the top of the antenna, and that's because there was the GoPro mount up in the front here. So as you can see, I went ahead and unscrewed the GoPro mount, and I also unscrewed the GoPro mount from the top plate here. And then I went ahead and I actually flipped the video transmitter around and put the antenna towards the front. I do think that's a good idea because I tried to actually create some spacing between the receiver and the video transmitter. So here we can see the controller antenna, and here I have my video transmitter antenna. So, and then underneath, flip it around here, we can actually see the receiver wires, and these just run up the bottom here and then up the antenna poles. So instead of running the video transmitter wires over the top of the receiver like I had done, they're actually just kind of near the speed controller now, the ESC, right here. So I have my noise reducer still mounted on the bottom under the back like this, so the battery can get in there. And then I ran the wire. You can see I usually just strap it in the the outside strap here so it doesn't pull on it and there's no stress on the wire, but at the same time it holds it in position. And that's because I didn't want to run it up through the bottom. Some of these openings on the bottom are kind of sharp, so you might end up vibrating a hole in the insulation of the wire. So I just ran it kind of up the side, and it's just a little bit loose right here so it's not rubbing. And then as you can see, I just run it up this hole where the speed controller wire is, and then up through the top right here. So at no point are the video transmitter wires coming into contact with the receiver wires, and there is some space in there now. So I'm gonna get a better video signal. When I did have this video transmitter up above the receiver, I was getting a lot of interference. So I think this solves that problem. And you can see the spacing in between the propeller and the antenna. So you do get okay spacing on that. And then let's go ahead and go into the GoPro. So basically I did remove the GoPro. I'm not even using that anymore. I mean, the whole point of having this drone isn't for video production. I do fly a video production drone at work, and I would never use this specific drone for capturing quality video footage. If I'm going to capture quality video footage, I definitely want a drone that has software where it's giving me return to home functions, and then also a GPS lock, so it's just going to stay in a coordinate, and then also with the altitude lock, because definitely when you're trying to shoot video, you're going to want to see what's going on with the camera, and at the same time you're going to want to adjust the drone for the right shot. So you don't want to be worried about altitude or drifting in the wind. So this is definitely an FPV drone, you know, kind of the bottom of the barrel for the racing if you wanted to get into something like that, or like freestyle, which is what I'm doing, just getting into kind of freestyle and then racing, you know, just from the bottom of the barrel, so that way I have room to upgrade and I'll be that much better of a pilot. So I went ahead and just removed the whole GoPro, you know. I don't need that extra weight on there. And then also it has those rubber grommet mounts, so I was finding that when I was returning to completely horizontal, let's say I was flying really fast and I'm at an angle and then I wanted to stop really quick, The GoPro on the rubber mounts would actually bounce back and forth and actually cause the drone to fluctuate violently. In fact, I think that's a lot of the cause of that flip of death too. Probably like 50% of that cause is you're getting that movement back and forth because that GoPro is vibrating back and forth. So I really like it like this. It's a lot lighter, and I'm not getting as much drift in the wind, and it's a lot more acrobatic, aggressive, turns a lot better. So I would recommend doing something like this. And then also when you take that GoPro mount off, now you have a perfect spot to mount this video transmitter and get it away from the receiver, so you're not going to get as much interference and probably get some more distance and range out of your controller and your goggles. So and then also the battery is in a good position without the GoPro, so the battery actually slides in really nice. It can reach my mounted noise reducer on the bottom. And then you're going to get a lot more thrust without that weight. And I did have some comments on an earlier video where people were definitely against having a GoPro on here because of the weight and how it can just reduce the lifetime of, say, your motors, because you just have that extra weight every single time you're flying. I mean, over 100 flights, I can see how having the extra weight of a GoPro is going to do extra damage and not let the motors last as long. So, and that's it. So I'm enjoying this setup a lot more than with the GoPro. So that's my recommendation. And if you have any questions, just post them in the bottom. Again, this is the Walkera Runner 250. This was the basic 1 version, and then I got the Teleporter V3 goggles and the OEM Devo 7 controller. So have a good day, guys.